In March 1938, Hitler united Germany and Austria. This union became known as the Anschluss. The Anschluss was an important stage in Hitler's foreign policy. It increased Germany's territory, population, and military strength. It also showed that Britain and France were unwilling to take serious action against Hitler. Hitler wanted the Anschluss because one of his main aims in foreign policy was to bring all Germans speaking together into the Great German Reich and create a Greater Germany. Austria contained the largest population of German speakers living outside of Germany. Around 7 million people lived there. However, the Treaty of Versailles had forbidden Germany and Austria from uniting. By 1938 though, many of the treaty's terms had already been broken. The Anschluss had not happened earlier than 1938 because of Italy. As Austria bordered Italy, Mussolini viewed Austria as part of Italy's sphere of influence. In 1934, he had even authorised Italian military movements to prevent Germany from taking control of Austria. However, Hitler's relationship with Mussolini improved after 1934. By 1938, Hitler was also in a much stronger military and diplomatic position. This meant that Italy was no longer likely to prevent the Anschluss. In February 1938, Hitler met the Austrian Chancellor, Schuschnigg. The meeting was supposed to discuss the treatment of Austrian Nazis by the Austrian government. However, Hitler used the meeting to bully Schuschnigg into appointing Arthur Seyss-Inquart, a leading Austrian Nazi, as the Minister of the Interior. Schuschnigg believed that Hitler wanted to destroy Austria's independence. To prevent this, he announced a plebiscite that would be held on the 13th of March. A plebiscite is just a public vote. The Austrian people would be asked whether they wanted Austria to remain independent. Hitler was unwilling to risk the Austrian people voting in favour of independence. He demanded Schuschnigg's resignation and insisted that Seyss-Inquart replace him as Chancellor. Schuschnigg reluctantly agreed. Once Seyss-Inquart became Chancellor, he immediately asked Germany to send assistance to Austria to restore order. This request gave Hitler an excuse to send German troops into the country. Hitler first made sure that Mussolini would support his actions. On the 12th of March 1938, the German army entered Austria. Hitler announced that the Anschluss had taken place. Plebiscites were then held in Germany and Austria in April. The official results showed an overwhelming number of votes in favour of the union. Germany and Austria were now united. The Anschluss was Hitler's most daring action so far. For the first time, the German army had been sent across Germany's borders. This could have created a serious confrontation with Britain and France. However, neither country took action, they only protested. Britain and France believed there was little they could do without support from Italy. They were also concerned that opposing the Anschluss would appear to go against the wishes of the Austrian people because of the plebiscite. The Anschluss increased Germany's territory and population. It also gave Germany more resources and greater military capacity. Most importantly, the lack of opposition increased Hitler's confidence. It strengthened his belief that Britain and France would continue to allow him to expand Germany without taking any military action. The Anschluss happened because Hitler wanted to unite German-speaking people and create a Greater Germany. Hitler pressured the Austrian government, forced the Austrian Chancellor to resign and replaced him with the Austrian Nazi Seyss-Inquart. German troops then entered Austria on the 12th of March 1938. Britain and France did not intervene. As a result, Hitler gained territory, population, resources and military strength, all while becoming more confident in the face of weak international opposition.